Alright guys, here we go. So we're at the games. This is day 2, and we're just kind of going to go over the basic stuff of like what we actually brought out, why maybe we brought some stuff, and what is actually working and what crap didn't work or doesn't work, or we might change later for different stuff. I'll go over my stuff real quick first. You probably, if you did see the other video with my loadout, nothing really changed from that. The rifle's the same. I'll do another in-depth thing on everything over the rifle, but the rifle has worked well for me. At the 220, we shot at 220, and there were a couple misses and stuff, but generally I think that's mostly me. The gun was well capable of that, and like a 12.5-inch barrel. Some people I heard talking about shorter guns not having the juice to get out there that far, but we shot at 220 at Matt's place, and shooting at paper, that's one thing I wanted to make sure, because paper talks back, it gives you data that you can use, and we hit where we were aiming at, you know, and so it works. And so we did our job down there at the 220, it worked. So I like this guy, and he worked fine. The Slickster, it has worked well for me. I have liked the fact that it does hold everything real nice and tight. You can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can tighten up the cummerbund pretty tight. With the elastic, and it gives you enough room to breathe and everything, so I haven't had any like shortness of breath issues besides the fact we're running around carrying a bunch of heavy crap. And I did switch out the front pouch because I had just the, what was it, the skinnier, thinner elastic mag pouch basically that went under the cummerbund, which that ran slicker, but I'm kind of focusing more on re-indexing my magazines this time because we've had issues before with mags popping out of dump pouches, so really I'm just wearing this dump pouch to carry a water bottle around. But this really helps as far as getting the mags to be re-indexed easily. The pistol, the belt, the whole setup here, it's been fine. This guy, I can't remember, Matt gave it to me, but it was the one Tigris. Excuse the dogs, but this guy's worked fine. Even for re-indexing, there's no Kydex or anything on the inside to hold the magazines. I haven't had them pop out. I haven't had any issues with trying to get them back in there. It's actually worked pretty well. And the belt itself has worked well, holding everything up, nothing moving around. The holster's been fine. The pistol, I know Rob and I both had problems with, well, your sights are falling off. We'll talk about that later. But mine, the sights weren't moving, but it's just sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. I don't like Glock sights. So that's one thing. When I come back to this, do it again. Glock sights, I'm just going to get rid of them, make sure it's a good metal sight that's not gonna shift. And that works well. Other than that, this little cheapy eBay magazine pouch holder thing for the rifle, it's worked fine too. Haven't had any issues after I put Loctite on the screws, because I had it come apart at the house. But yeah, put Loctite on your crap, that's a big thing. So you don't want that to happen out here, and then you lose your crap and you wouldn't have your mag when you need it. So other than that, everything else was fine. I would recommend, personally, these kind of things, whether you wear a long sleeve or these kind of things. It might look a little gay, but I am like burnt up like crap underneath here because I didn't wear it yesterday, and I got scratched up from the stinking wall. Exactly like Rob. I don't know if that would be a good idea. I don't know if this would help not do that, or if it would just rip through this and do that, or if this would just be a sacrificial thing instead of your skin. But this, even though it looks kind of like you're a little fruity.
No, that's definitely one thing I'm going to bring next time.
Yeah, because it works. And even standing here in the breeze, it does like help cool off your arm. It works. I never really knew what these things were for, but yeah, there you go. That's basically it. That's my basic stuff and what's worked. Like I said, I think the only things I would change is not worrying about having to be super, super slick, because even when you get down to the prone, this does not get in the way. It's worked fine. Nothing wrong with the rifle. Change the pistol sights. Really, other than that, my stuff's been fine.
As far as my stuff goes, I just wore my issued kit that I got at work. Tri-Precision plate carrier, and then Tri-Precision pistol belt. So a lot of guys wear different types of pistol belts here that are more slick than this. This has that big pad on the outside, but really I've had no issues with it. Some guys like Caleb wear the strap around the leg, so that way when you're running, your pistol is not flapping all over the place. Again, I haven't had any issues with this one because this pistol belt sits just right, and it's tight enough to where it's not flopping all over the place. But just same thing we said before, I would highly recommend going to the range and testing your equipment out prior to. As far as the plate carrier goes, I haven't really, I have these standard mag pouches here with with the rubber bands to hold them in place and stuff like that, but I haven't really used them, and these have not come out. But I would just recommend getting something that ensures that it holds your magazines in place, because you do a lot of running, sprinting, and stuff like that, and climbing over walls, barriers, obstacles, and rope climbs and stuff. One thing that I have noticed, since we're talking about magazines, he kind of hit on it already. Part of the battles now is where if you drop your mag, you get a time added onto your overall time. So you got to find a way to secure your mags during the battles, because again, you do a lot of sprinting, and I found that some of the battles you use 3 to 4 mags of rifle, and you might use all your mags for pistol. And then
5 mags of pistol.
Yeah, 5 mags of pistol at the most. So sticking all those empty mags inside your dump pouch here. First of all, have a dump pouch. But secondly, if you know that you're going into a battle that's going to require you to dump all your mags into your dump pouch, I would just recommend putting them back in the magazine pouches before you get up and move, because if you drop them, there was a couple times since I've been here that I went to go sprint and then noticed that my mag fell out of my dump pouch, even though I was trying to do the right thing. So just a note on that. As far as stuff on the gun, not to beat a dead horse and talk about things that we've already identified, but main thing is sling for the tactical game. So make sure that you have a sling that is easily adjustable and that's comfortable. Okay, so I would not come here with a single point sling, and I would not come here with any sort of a sling that has any sort of buckles on it or Velcro that you have to detach in order to get to your pull cord. I would just have something easily accessible like this. So this one is Blue Force Gear sling, and it adjusts really easy. You just pull up, pull down, and you're going to be doing that a lot while you're here. So I would highly recommend something like this. And this one's nice because it has the pad that makes it more comfortable and that kind of thing. It doesn't really wear out your neck. The other thing that I want to talk about was just random gear. So, like he said earlier, I went up to go do a battle and noticed that my lock sight was all the way to the right side. And then I was...
10 o'clock.
Thank you. So I was standing there getting ready to go up to the line to shoot and noticed that my sights were all the way to the right. So I ended up taking my pistol out and try to bang it to the left with my magazine. So make sure you check your equipment before you go up there and bring the necessary tools in order to fix things like that. Like, we got some tools out here, but I mean, Glock sight tool is key. Just the standard gunsmith tools, I would highly recommend bringing. What else? Miscellaneous stuff, maybe?
That's basically it. That's basically it. I mean, really. And with what he said with the pistol and all that kind of stuff, that's why you got to train with your gear. The sling, I had another sling on here, and I'm glad I got this one. This is a Ferro Concepts, same kind of basic idea. Just it slides relatively easy, so you can tighten it up, loosen it up when you need to, and then running your gear and making sure you know what's going to break, what doesn't break, like the sights, or stuff like that. And then one last thing, so we got to go to the next battle. But what are you saying? Climbing over the walls or stuff, you're talking about your mags not coming loose. I did notice even on mine, like when you're climbing over, like not all the games are going to be the same, obviously, but if you're climbing over stuff, there were times where this thing sticking out caught on that wall, and I'm trying to get over the wall and it's trying to like rip it off. So that's one reason to have good gear, not just cheap. Like I can get away with some cheap stuff like this magazine pouch, but some things need to be good gear that we're not just going to rip off, because if it all just fell apart, I'd be screwed, because I wouldn't have my mags, I wouldn't have anything. So,
which reminds me, so that also the amount of mag pouches that you have. So, I've ran with this setup, this basic setup in combat before, and I've stuck with it. I haven't changed the way my pistol belt has set up, since Afghanistan. So, I always run with 4 pistol mag pouches right here, and then obviously I have one in the gun too. So, 5 total. I would highly recommend that as well, because there's some battles where some guys I've heard in conversation, they were trying to figure out a way to store more mags into that because they only had 2 mag pouches. So,
you don't want to be running around with a magazine in your pocket, slinging it and bouncing around. That's not going to work.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much it. All right, we're going to go to another battle and do this, but that's just kind of what we're using, what we're looking at, what we like, what we might change later and stuff. But yeah, short and sweet. Appreciate y'all watching, subscribing, doing your thing and all that, and we will catch you on the next video.